Hello guys, this is Tushar Joshi, the editor-in-chief at BollywoodLife's, and I have just come back after watching Raabta, the film that everybody has been talking about for the last few weeks, and it's finally out. So how is the film? Is it worth going and spending your $200 on it? That's what I'm going to tell you about. So let's start with the basics, yeah? I'm not going to tell you the entire story, but let's try and find out what is the story of Raabta. Raabta, as you might have heard, is a story of reincarnation, Punarjanam as we've been calling it in Bollywood for the last several years. So Sushant and Kriti, boy meets girl in a cafe, start talking to each other and suddenly realize that there are bells ringing in their hearts. Now these are not the normal bells that usually ring in your hearts when you have a boy meet girl situation, but they're obviously zoning out and having these out of body experiences because they're realizing that there is something more to them than meets the eye. We know that it's a reincarnation story, so there are these fleeting moments where there are flashbacks to Sushant and Kriti's past life and you get to see them in a completely different avatar. Raabta's basic premise is very simple. It's basically boy meets girl, boy falls in love with a girl to realize that they have a parallel love story happening many centuries and decades ago, and how do they sort of get a closure to it in their current life. Enters Jim Sarab, who's sort of playing the negative lead in the film. He is the one who sort of spirals the whole story out of control and is a very important catalyst in the film. Jim, in fact, sort of makes the story more interesting. So to sum it up, without giving you too much, Raabta is a conventional love story set in a very unconventional premise. It uses Punarjanam and reincarnation as a mechanism to sort of get the viewers interested. Now let's cut to the chase and let me tell you what's hot about the film. Let's talk about the good things first, right? Because that's what you want to know. The best thing about the film for me was Sushant and Kriti's amazing chemistry. I mean guys, these guys are incredible on screen. If you watch their interviews in the last few weeks leading up to the film, one thing would have realized is they literally can't take their eyes off each other. And that's what director Dinesh Vijan has cashed in on in Raabta, is every frame, every moment is so beautifully created, and you can actually see Sushant sort of getting charmed by, Kriti's nuances. So romance and the fact that both of them are extremely at ease with each other is a plus point for Raabta. The shots are scenic. They've spent a lot of money in ensuring that the film looks really nice. The music of the film is melodious. I mean, it doesn't really have a standout track as such. The title track actually is good. And the one thing that actually stood out for me in the film was Rajkumar Rao. I mean, it's incredible the amount of effort and the number of hours that this man has taken to look the part in the film it's outstanding. The prosthetics and the makeup that he has done in the film is amazing. I mean, I cannot tell you how he looks, but you would have probably seen some images. But his character in the film is very important, and I think that is something that you would want to sort of spend some time on. Okay, we are done with all the praiseworthy scenes and telling you how good the film is. Now let's cut to the chase and actually tell you what's not good in the film. I think that's important and that's something that you guys need to know. For me, the biggest problem in Raabta is the way the film is being told. The narrative and the fact that nothing is cohesive is a big issue for me. I mean, in a day and time where scripts and writing and the audience is hungry and waiting for something that has more to it than just a good looking guy and a good looking girl, I think the important part where Dinesh Vijan, the director, missed the whole storyline is the fact that it needed more meat. It needed more substance. I mean, you have Bulgaria, you have Kriti Sanon looking like $1 million, you have Sushant Singh Rajput showing off his 6-pack abs, or maybe 8-pack abs in fact in this situation. But what about the story? What about the backdrop? What about the fact that we need to invest in these characters? All of that is missing. So it looks like you're at a Barbie store and you're looking at this really nice Barbie doll, but she has nothing to tell. She's just sitting on a seat or a couch with nothing to do. You get the drift? That's what I'm trying to say. So for me, if you're looking for a story that you would want to invest in, Raabta is not the film for you. And the way the whole the second half unfolds, it's absolutely obnoxious and it's really irritating because it tests your patience. I think the most of the time that I was looking into my phone, I was literally looking on my social media and I was checking my Twitter and Facebook. That is not a good sign when you're watching a movie, right? You're actually wanting to invest yourself and look at the screen. I felt that had there been better writing in the film, had they invested more on the writing, Raabta would have been a decent film. So let's sort of quickly highlight 3 points that are missing in the film, what's not good about the film. Definitely the writing could have been much better. Number 2 is the dialogues are extremely corny. There's a scene where Sushant tells Kriti that mera koi part chocolatey hai, and then there's this awkward pause. Like really, like in 2017 jokes definitely need to be better. So writing could have been better. Number 3, the fact that we have seen reincarnation films in the past. We have seen Kars in the 80s. We have seen Om Shanti Om now. So the genre has been done. So that feeling of being there, seeing that sort of seeps in quite early in the film. And the most important part is the fact that how badly the climax is executed and how much of a miscast is Jim Sarb. for somebody who's seen Neerja and expected so much more from the actor, he's such a big letdown in the film. And that for me was a big disappointment. So is Raabta worth your $200? My answer is a big no. I think you would rather want to go watch OSO or watch Karz if you want a good masala, Punarjanam, or as we say, reincarnation film. But Raabta for me is just no. I think after watching the film, you might want to tell the writer that you should not be reincarnated in the next 7 lives. So go. My verdict on Raabta is 2 stars, but if you guys have the courage to go watch the film after listening to this review, go ahead, watch it and let us know in the comments. Meanwhile, next week I'll see you guys again and we'll do another film review. Keep watching BollywoodLife.com.